This is the underbelly. This is what happens when it's a two-party system, and it's much more complicated. It's not black and white. There's a whole gray area, and we've never addressed that for a very long time. We went to TGI Fridays. Fuck Applebee's.
I always get the two of those confused, dude.
They're interchangeable.
Applebee's.
We went there for endless apps. Man, I was trashed.
Last time I went to TGI Fridays, I had started off at Second Story. I was meeting a friend, and we had free tickets to go see...
Tell our listeners what Second Story actually is.
Second Story is a gay bar in Chicago where you climb up a hallway. If you keep climbing, you'll reach the tarot card place, but I've never seen anyone go all the way to the top. And it's a gay bar with heavy pour. It feels very much like a 1930s speakeasy because it just feels hidden. Yeah, if you don't know where it is, you're not going to find it. And sometimes the bartender is shirtless. I went there one time for Father's Day. I wanted some man to call me daddy. But so I went there with a friend, and we had free tickets to see the remake of The Last House on the Left with
fuck that.
Monica Porter, whatever her name is. Like, she can't act, but she's been in a lot of stuff.
Oh, that would have been such a great show. I would have left at intermission.
We got a little bit too drunk and chose not to go to the movie, and then we ended up at a TGI Fridays, which he completely forgets about. And then we went back to the bar, and now what gets me is it was the same bartender, and I don't know what actually happened because the drinks at Second Story are very strong. But the bartender, before he left, came around the bar, hugged me, kissed me full on the mouth, like straight up tongue and everything. Like, hey baby, you are hot. And let me just say, I used to be a working girl, so I know, like, oh shit, I have to pay attention. I just have to admit, like, I is that hoe. Anyway, so he made out with me, and then he's like, oh, I wish I could stay, but I have to go. And then he left, and I've been to Second Story since, and I was so drunk that night. I do not know which bartender made out with me. I just know some bartender kissed me at Second Story, and I don't know if he works there. And sometimes, like, a bartender there is giving me the side eye and just looking at me, and I'm like, oh my God, does he recognize me through comedy? Did that film I made in college resurface?
Somebody knows that you're a slut.
I'm not a slut.
You're a fucking thought, Thomas.
Talk about you're that hoe over there that just lets bartenders make out with them.
No. All right, you will treat me like the damn first lady I is. Okay. And high school, when everyone called me a slut, I'm like, oh no, honey, I'm not a slut. I'm a whore. Whores make rent. Okay. Like I just saw on The Deuce with Maggie Gyllenhaal. It's like no one make money off my pussy but me. Okay. My pussy make money.
There you go.
What you got, pussy?
Frank
you ain't never
looks
poor.
like the two James Franco horny brothers in that show.
I'm looking at myself in the mirror.
No, because Frank is actually handsome. Second of all,
I like James Franco. I would fuck him with their
No, James Franco just has this level of sleaze. Like,
I think is so hot.
No.
He's got that. Let's go to the back of my camper and fuck. And
totally into that with James Franco. Him himself.
He's just dirty. You could just wipe his hair and use that for lube. You could just.
I would fuck him and then steal that camper and then throw him from it off of like an overpass.
See, I look at Frank and I could say, hey, Frank, you bathe. You have basic hygiene. James Franco is like, boy, I'm going to douse you in Lysol and tell you to invite your friend Seth Rogen.
Oh, I like him musty.
Even on camera with makeup, I'm like, why does he still look so sleazy?
Yeah, he just looks sleazy.
But maybe that's him. Just he only takes on super sleazy roles.
Yeah, I think so. That's
Sprang Bright.
Now James Franco is going to be one of those that when he comes out in like 40 years, we're all going to be like, oh, really? Like that video when you straight up making out with Seth Rogen. Like, I want Seth Rogen. Like, Papa Seth has done it for me since Knocked Up. I'm like, I can take your baby batter. I can take that human caviar, if you will. Oddly enough, and Tracy Lords with her acting, because she can actually act, like in the Zack and Miri makeup porno, she is the only adult in the room. Like, she's the only one seems to be aware of what's going on.
You know that Penthouse magazine with Vanessa Williams and,
yeah, Tracy Lords is the centerfold. She's 17.
So it's illegal to have that. It's technically child porn. Milton Berle is on the cover too?
It
was Vanessa Williams and Milton Berle are on the
George
cover.
Burns.
George
Burns with Vanessa Williams.
Same old dude that's dead.
Brooke Shields has like a 14-year-old like nude something in Playboy.
And oddly enough, with Brooke Shields, she really was. Her mother was pushing a lot of the child porn because I think she did some posing
her
for
mom's
like
a fucking
Mapplethorpe.
mess,
and when Brooke Shields did Endless Love and Blue Lagoon, Brooke's mom was like, "Oh yeah, she'll do the nudity. Oh yeah, she's fine doing the nudity." And it was
which is why she doesn't talk to her mom at all anymore.
Yeah, it's some producer or director was like
her mom like pushed her to do it, kind of thing.
She was a kid.
Like Kathy Griffin like talk about like she's like, I know all this stuff. Like, here's the thing, I went to Brooke Shields' wedding in the '90s and like her mom was fucking plastered and everything else. Like, she's a big sloppy drunk.
I saw that. Yes,
and because Kathy Griffin did that show, like Brooke Shields wants nothing to do with Kathy Griffin, and it's been like 25 years. Kathy Griffin just loves to dig herself into a hole, and I love her for it. Like, girl, go ahead and do it. And now she's no longer friends with Anderson Cooper. That's the biggest thing. It's like, well, dude, no, you're still kind of defending this horrible, fucking awful president that we have. And she's like, whatever, I did like a photo shoot with a fake head that kind of looks like him. I never said it was exactly him. Like, don't apologize for a joke.
True.
Yeah.
How many women have been taken down by the Trump administration? Now, mind you, whether or not you found Kathy Griffin holding a disembodied, bleeding, fake head of Donald Trump funny, the quote that she was using was the quote Donald Trump said to a woman named Megyn Kelly. Yeah. Like, he straight up said that. Personifying Trump bleeding from an orifice is worse than apparently our president speaking to a woman with that much couth.
I was talking to one of my Italian friends, and he's like, you know what? America thinks they're so exclusive, and they think that they're the only country who has been through this. It's your turn to do it, because Italy already had Berlusconi. Yeah. And France had Le Pen, which was the xenophobia, racist crap, too. So, like, maybe it is our turn to share in that.
Probably my favorite quote he's ever said is most recently he's about Puerto Rico. He goes, they want everything done for them. It should be a community effort. That's really the most socialist thing he's ever said. So.
Pretty much.
Progress?
Well,
I don't know.
That's pretty socialist if you ask me.
The mayor of San Juan, which is the capital of Puerto Rico.
Like her. Yeah, she's cool.
And she's like, no, you haven't done anything. Please send help. People are starving.
What do you mean? He dedicated a golf trophy to them. What else do you want?
I voted for Hillary Clinton. I have a show on my own. It's called Bottoms of the Barrel, AM 1680, Q4 Radio, Q4.org.
Hey.
And I do have the Clinton snootiness. I do look down my nose at others and said, well, I hope you got what you voted for. Hillary Clinton tweeted, like, there is a U.S. ship that starts with a C that exists for the sole purpose of sending out food and medical supplies. And for some reason, Trump has chosen not to send it from Norfolk, Virginia.
It's about the fact that they just don't want to do it. And as far as Hillary Clinton goes, she sucked too. I mean, I'm not going to say that she wouldn't have done a better job.
She would have been aesthetically better because she would at least have a clue of what to do.
Yeah, but then again, she doesn't know shit about poor people and being poor, and that's the thing that everybody remembers from the 90s. And when you want to hack it up between the Electoral College votes that way, it's pretty much 50-50. That just shows you nobody liked either candidate.
Well, I wanted
them, but
Nobody
Hillary
liked
Clinton
either
wasn't
candidate.
born with a silver spoon in her mouth. Her father did own his own business. It was out in the burbs.
True,
and
but she
did
went
have
through a
to work for her
rejuvenation every
education.
time to try to get further up in the political sphere.
The problem with
She was Hillary
Clinton,
Rodham for a long time till her husband was running for president, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Well, Hillary
She
Clinton,
hyphenated her name. She had to make herself like more famous.
All right.
She only got to where she is because of a dude. So how much of a feminist are you really? You're a Goldwater girl in the beginning, and now all of a sudden you flipped your shit. Yeah, the Clintons didn't do a fucking thing for the poor people, and that's what people won't forget. I grew up poor in the 90s. They fucking
I grew
Clintons
up
didn't
poor, too. I'm the
exactly.
immigrant
Do you
family.
think she would have made anything any better? Especially when
Okay,
she
first
stole
of
that
all,
shit
with
from Bernie
everything
Sanders.
Hillary Clinton
Yeah,
does,
that's a weird thing.
It's a lot of, well, we're just going to throw it as the Madonna and Diana Ross makeover, which is Hillary Clinton is very intelligent.
Oh yeah,
She's
totally.
not a horribly ugly woman. She looks like a very competent person.
She looks like a
but
rich woman
ultimately,
in her 60s.
and I relate to her because I'm a fellow Scorpio, is that ultimately, like Hillary Clinton, I am unlikable. I have dealt all my life with huge groups of people who just outright hate me. This happened pre-elementary school. This happened in elementary school. It happens sometimes when I travel. Like, large groups of people just decide to hate me. And Hillary Clinton has that, like, dialed up to 11. That is her spinal tap. Like, there are just people who
that
do
fucking hate her.
not like her.
So but they don't hate you because you put millions of people in prison.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have gone
exactly.
there.
They don't hate you because because your husband came up with NAFTA.
I wanted the first female president. I really wanted to
Oh,
see
I did too.
So that's why I
Absolutely.
voted for
I
Jill
voted-
Stein. I met Craig through. I was short on people for when I was hosting Comedy Spin, and you said hit up Craig Besand, and so I did. I never got to. How did the two of you know each other? I'm assuming just open
Open
mics.
mic over
you
at.
don't want to mention Steamworks?
It's. It was an open mic at the place next to the Admiral.
Oh, the
420.
240 lounge.
240.
Yeah.
The 240 lounge
Hound Dog
at
Comedy.
the Admiral Theater. Was it Hound Dog Comedy
It was
then
Hound
or
Dog.
Tassel-Free Comedy?
It was
I missed the Tassel-Free Comedy.
It was Hound Dog at that time.
Yes.
Why did
they
it change from Tassel Free to Hound Dog?
Different people.
It was time for me to move on. I was kind of getting burned out. Like, you guys, prior to the show, had spoke about producing shows and doing things, and I was running a weekly open mic and a weekly comedy showcase / workout room. And do we need to say that kind of burns you out, and you deal with a lot of jerks, and you deal with a lot of egos, and you deal with a lot of, like, I've since this actually happened recently where someone said, "Oh, can I go up early? I have to go to work in the morning." And I said, "Well, you showed up late, so you're going to go where you go. And remember, the rest of us are independently wealthy, and we have no place to be."
Really, yeah.
Oddly enough, I kind of got burned out on the room, and I got burned out on doing the show, and I had given it to someone else who was going to do killer comedy, and he then moved to Las Vegas, and it was given to Murphy Rowe, and Murphy Rowe wanted to do Hound Dog Comedy, and I came back to kind of help Murphy Rowe, and I actually like Murphy Rowe.
That was a good show. I think he did a good job putting that together, and he's a great host too.
Yeah, it was just.
Is your Las Vegas friend who moved away? Is he alive? Do we know?
He has since relocated to Arizona, and I haven't reached out to him. That's right. I need to reach out to him. Yeah, he was one of those who really liked to hug me and kiss me on my cheek, and I didn't. I'm one of those people, like, I have no problem friend zoning any kind of guy. It'd be like if Ryan Gosling fresh off his SNL stint, was like, baby, that was a hot show. Let's go to my room and be like, you know, I think these other girls would put out for sooner. You do nothing
I'd
for
be like,
me,
let's
Ryan.
go.
Like, yeah,
Let's
you would.
go, Rygo.
Ryan Gosling to me looks like a basset hound. Like his face just looks droopy. He's blonde-haired, blue-eyed, hairless. He does nothing.
You would refuse Ryan Gosling. You're full of shit.
Right,
Craig.
You are so full of shit. We can go to break right now.
Right. What if I told you he's in the other room? We have a special surprise guest.
I will be like, I gotta go.
Hold up.
Time to go be Rygo.
Number one.
Rygos,
Number
let's
one.
go.
Hold up. Number one, I got a man. I got a man and I a good hoe. I a good hoe to my man. My man from Detroit, he half black from Detroit. He's all the brother I need. Number two, as a good hoe and a good friend, if Ryan Gosling was like, hey baby, I really want you. You really hot. I'd be like, you know what? I have a friend who look almost like me. Let me call my friend. And then I would call you, Craig, and say, bitch, I'm ordering you an Uber. Get your ass here. Ryan, we're going to keep you entertained.
He's going to earn that fucking
He's
going to earn that fucking Oscar. Come on, Rygo. We're going to do it.
All right.
Tonight,
and then Craig, I would say, Craig, you take it over from here. I have got him well lubricated.
Benedict
View that as you will. Now, don't get me wrong.
Benedict Cumberbatch is coming over later too, honey. No more.
As I said when I watched Foxy Brown, she said, darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I prefer my men like I like my coffee, black. And let me just tell you, there are different ways to take your coffee. There is the plain black coffee, which I call the Wesley Snipes. I don't like it because it gives you the Bernie Mac eyes. There is your black coffee with a lot of sugar. I call that the Tay Diggs. There's also the basic coffee with a little cream, little sugar. Some call that the Denzel Washington or the Michael B. Jordan. He is so by creed. Then there's the coffee, there's the no sugar with heavy cream. That's the Terrence Howard. And I watched Empire, and I know when she took that baseball bat to his head, that was the first time a woman ever hit Terrence Howard that did not get slapped back. And then there's your coffee with heavy cream, heavy sugar. I call that my Chez Marmor because it's just so sweet. And then you got your iced coffee, your cool as ice coffee. And I call that my LL Cool J because I will take it any way presented. I was one time in a bookstore looking at the LL Cool J How to Do Fitness workout book, and a friend said, oh hey Thomas, you're gonna buy this book. And I said, buy the book, I'm gonna ask if they have a back room.
Thomas Bottoms, everybody.
I like my coffee.
Hey, I too prefer my man like I like my coffee, away from my dick.
And while I won't call you a YouTube commercial girl, I will say
I'm a boss-ass bitch.
you are one of those Watch Mojo lists that people have watched them. They don't mind watching them. They actually enjoy having them every once in a while, and you're thus more open. I'm like a really bizarre David Lynch film starring Laura Dern that lasts 3 hours. This will not end.
Craig might not be a YouTube girl, but he's almost as a Snapchat premium girl.
Almost. Do you want to stick your bare foot in my mouth, Frank?
Frank, I just have to say, as a gay man, it's like, you are very handsome, but I'm going to respect the fact that you're straight, and I'm going to sit
always
over
have,
here.
Thomas.
I've tried. I know you've let me pet the chest hair.
Like you filmed a commercial.
We did do a commercial, and I've been meaning to...
I feel the man who I want me to bring to completion isn't bringing me to completion. So, Frank, I feel, since you have had many women around you smile, that you are able to bring things to completion. I want the glow of freshly fucked, Frank. I don't want the matte finish of disappointment.
Well, Mike directed this bit initially, so I feel like if I re-edit it, it's almost like I'm cucking Mike. I wouldn't want to do that.
You don't want to be a cuck.
Mike doesn't want to be a cuck.
Mike does want to be a cuck. No. Don't cuckold
But
Mike.
that was so much fun filming that, and you had the location. We were at his office building, and we had a good. It was.
Is this the office building that you hated working at? No wonder you filmed.
Yeah, we filmed in the bathroom. Yeah, we were working on another skit at an erotic retelling of the Mary Kay Letourneau story.
I want to be there. I want to be the principal.
I can see that.
I get such the biggest kick of religious tattoos and gay porn, like especially gay for pay porn, where these are straight guys who are having sex with other men for money, and they have like on their back like only God can judge me, and I'm like, child, he ain't the only one. He ain't the only one.
Yeah.
I like the ones that have like across their chest Revelations 4:18. I'm like, dude, I fucking know that. Oh my God, you.
Which one is that? Which one is Revelations 18? I wasn't raised with religion.
Porn star was that one? I don't know.
Well, no. Which red porn star was the message?
What's the message of that one? That one is Revelations 4:18 is like, oh, some bullshit. It's the Bible.
There is this bizarre common practice in gay porn, a fetish of straight guys wanting to show off for the gay audience, and then they're straight up just having sex with other men to appeal to a gay audience. I mean, you really get the passion of two meth heads going at it for the next fix. That is what like gay porn sometimes feels like, and I don't get how gay for pay works, because
gay dudes are just like fucking around anyway. They're like, I'll totally take like $200 cash to be filmed. Yeah,
right. Well,
yeah.
In gay porn, you're missing the shame aspect of it. I don't feel like you all shame each other the way straight people shame each other.
Oh no, you do gay porn, you're a star.
Yeah. I think
if
that's
you
cool.
are a truly straight gay for pay guy, you do get shamed. Like there
By
was
straight people, though.
muscle guy. I'm gonna
By straight
just say
people,
his
yeah.
name. His name's Todd Morgan, and he was one of those like 18 years old, really buff, big on fitness, and he could have probably gone somewhere with fitness, but he reached out to Sean Cody and he did a solo video, and he's 5'2" and some things were small, and then he did a video where he's basically banging a male friend of his, and at some point like they straight up end up kissing and they get up into it or whatever, and then he never did porn again. He did pose eventually for like Playgirl magazine, and he's done other nude modeling, but like his fitness career and the straight-laced career was ruined
because of that,
because of the porn.
Oh,
like there
sucks.
are
Well,
many
if you
porn
go,
actors.
first of all, when you go into porn, there's no real turning back.
Pretty
I mean,
cool.
I'd have to be. I would do it for artistic purposes.
Like
I have to be on a lot of drugs.
Right.
There's that Sarah Silverman, her verse comedy special that she did. She like wrote a song about porn stars, and there's this bit that's like, "Have you ever done drugs so that you can have sex without crying?" Yeah. Like, I would have to be on so much drugs to
dark
do
shit.
it.
Yeah,
I have to be into some deep fucking shit in order to be filmed doing something that I as much sex as I have with as many strangers as I have, it's still an intimate experience. I'm not going to just like throw it out there. Weren't we supposed to be talking about the shooter in Vegas?
Hold on, we're still talking about shooters, but I mean, as I have aged, I sometimes wonder if hindsight's 2020, like would I have wanted to do porn? But I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I've never done porn. I think as I've aged, I have a slight porn fantasy that like next three-way I want some guy instructing me what to happen to maybe see what that experience is. But no, I don't need to film it and put it on YouTube. I've even like dating apps, they always ask for the dick pic. Sometimes they want the anal shot. Sometimes they want like the cum shot. Like, so you're now sending out videos to show the end to a movie that you're not sure you wanted to watch.
Right.
And when it comes to dick pics, I won't lie. I use a body double, and I send it out, and I'm like, it's a body double. It's a dick deception, and no one.
It's a dick Decepticon.
Yes, and when it comes to anal pics, I just do not feel squatting over a cell phone and taking a picture captures my true essence. I am not a Kardashian. Like, that just isn't me.
I do it, but I make sure that my face isn't in there, or my
no, but you're looking between your legs back at the camera.
Or my ass tattoo isn't in it either, because that's identifying. Like, the worst thing that I ever probably did was have. I do. It's a small one, but whatever. It's on my ass. Anyway, I wanted, like, I was fucking this dude, and he like wanted to film everything. I'm like, okay, sure, my head's out of the picture, but that shit's like nobody else is gonna look like me and my body modification.
Yeah.
So I told him, like, dude, delete this shit. If I ever become famous, I will sue the fuck out of
because you
them.
didn't
I know
want-
exactly where it's coming from.
Who was the guy? Somebody that you like were in bad terms with afterwards, or like was
Not
it
in
just...
bad terms, but at the same time, he was just a really weird dude.
Yeah,
Like, I should not.
It was
have-
his idea to film.
Oh,
right?
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm that weird dude.
You're that. Wow.
But speaking about pornography, it is interesting how since the 80s, a lot of porn actors have crossed over. Like Jenna Jameson, for a while there, was a household name. And
she's fucking crazy now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's super Trump. Yeah.
And Tracy Lords
nuts.
actually did succeed at having a C-level, B-level acting career. Good, bad, or indifferent, she made it work. She released a techno album. I actually love that techno album. And she actually toured with a
John
female
Waters
DJ.
like pulled her out of
she's
like
good
the gutter.
in Crybaby.
She's wonderful in Crybaby.
And Serial Mom.
Serial Mom, she's
and she
great
has
too.
such a small part. It's like, yeah, Tracy could actually act.
And it's because like John Waters like, all right, whatever, you're a freak, welcome aboard.
I'm just tired of it. I'm not surprised that they're talking about the people who saved other people. I'm not surprised about those who had died saving others. And
I would save other people too.
Through a cover with the 59 pictures, and hopefully some of them aren't driver's license photos. And as a comedian I work with, Jeff Hawks, stated is, and how quickly will we forget this? And the point is, we're going to forget it really quickly. Paul Ryan,
until the next fucking mass shooting occurs, that will happen.
House says, well, we have to do a tax bill, and then we have the health care, and we have a lot of things. Because we have to remember, in the 9 months that they have been in session, they haven't gotten a damn thing done.
And now there's this. There's this.
I'm sorry, this Trump presidency needed to be aborted, but we're 9 months in and the baby's fucking here. You have to take care of it. And we aren't.
Well,
we aren't. Apparently,
that argument also goes to the fact that Sandy Hook happened when Obama was president, and the fact is that the gun lobby is way too strong that they can't do anything about it. I would love to see a mass shooting. I would love to see a mass shooting. I will put this on right now on the air. I'd love to see a mass shooting at a fucking NRA convention, at a national yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see when they become actual victims of gun violence, and then maybe they might change their tunes, turn it into Mad Max. Let's do it. Why not? We're already there. Like, our democracy is a fucking joke. Like, this is the whole thing about the last election, this two-party system. It's bullshit. No wonder people take a fucking knee at the national anthem. I'm not going to rise from the national anthem anymore. You want like more access to guns, you want less access to health care. Sorry, you know, the only good thing about Donald Trump is the fact that he's been elected. It just like really just shown the mirror in the face of America, and they really fucking hate that. Like, this is the underbelly. This is what happens when it's a two-party system, and it's much more complicated. It's not black and white. There's a whole gray area, and we've never addressed that for a very long time.
It is interesting that we defend the right of a man who can buy 10 automatic weapons, who can buy a crank so they fire quicker, who can rent a hotel room with no problem, We defend that man's rights. But the 559 people who were shot, 59 killed, over 500 injured, we don't defend their right to health care.
Well, and now there's multiple gunmen, too.
Was a white 64-year-old man. You can't find your excuse here unless you want to embrace Christianity.
But there was
You
more.
can't blame
There was
ISIS.
more.
He's
there
a
was
liberal,
more.
though, too, which is kind of the caveat.
Caveat, too, also.
So he was shooting on Trump voters?
He was also, but then again,
They were country music fans.
We are a country that allowed a mentally ill person to buy fucking multiple assault
But he
weapons.
didn't register as mentally ill. How many
Yeah,
assault
exactly,
weapons
because
do you
he was
need
in a
to own
state
to
that
be mentally ill?
didn't regulate that, and they're like, and
Yeah.
people are like, well, let's let the states decide. Well, then here's the fucking fall for you.
Welcome, Alex. You're here. We're in progress with Tom.
Is this
and
Alex
Craig.
Jones?
Hey guys, just want to say, what do you guys think about the global elite?
Alex Jones.
Is the global elite going to try to take our guns?
Jones, you've lost no fucking weight from drinking those shakes.
I've been using some of the most vital man supplements day to day, and I've been keeping myself in top peak male performance. I just want to know, I'm talking
Is
to...
it cum?
That's
Do you
what I see-
own a gun,
Hold on.
Alex?
I do own a gun. I own several firearms.
Which ones?
Well, I got an AR-15 and I got another AR-15.
And then what about the other bunch of guns do you own? You don't own shit.
I think-
you even own your
But
own
the other two guns are hanging off the side of my body. If you haven't seen with the top peak physical shape I'm in.
Does your ex-wife still hate you?
Well, she took my children away because she's part of the global elite and the liberal elite and the liberal media trying to brainwash them against me. I'm going to ask you, what'll happen if somebody breaks into your home and tries to take your belongings and you don't have a gun to defend yourself?
I will push them out because they shouldn't have a gun either. Why'd you spray that water bottle on your face? Is it to emulate tears, Mr.
Now,
Jones?
Something that's confused me, Mr. Jones, is especially with the
Mr.
recent
Jones and me.
with the recent shooting in Las Vegas, where 559 people were shot, 59 were murdered. And they were all white people at a country festival. I mean, it was called the Harvest Fest at Las Vegas. Ain't nothing grows in the desert. I even saw showgirls. Like, more grew on Elizabeth Berkley than in the desert, okay? Like,
She
are
grew
you
her
sure
own
this isn't
cocaine.
Barack Obama trying to take out the white folk? Is this a retaliation?
I'm sorry, Alex Jones. We're out of time. I appreciate you joining us.
Fuck off, Alex Jones. We don't like
I
you.
think he hung up on us. I hear you're doing a comedy show. You're hosting one at Shakers on Clark the 17th of October.
Correct. The third Tuesday of the month is a new show called Bottoms of the Barrel Comedy Show on Tuesday, October 17th. It's also going to be filmed and re-aired for my own radio show, Bottoms of the Barrel, on AM 1680 Q4 Radio, Q4.org. And
All
I hope
right.
to get all of this stuff on YouTube. I have people, but I am very technologically impaired. I only know how to boot up and shut down.
Do you know how to load a 3.5 inch floppy?
If it's 3.5 inches in floppy, I don't want to waste my time with it.
You can find Thomas Bottoms at thomasbottoms.com. You can find this band, Warren, from Budapest, at bandcamp.com if you just type in Warren Punks with an X. And email us, neonvoicespod@gmail.com.